Hello UK fans, Rants here, and welcome to a discussion video on the new Millennium pack coming out on the 14th-15th of April 2016. This video will be split into two parts. One is a rant on how Konami screwed up this pack and could have made it a lot better and got a lot of profit from this. And the second part of the video will be based on the new cards and cards you should be picking up from this set and will hype in the future. A link to that segment of this video will be in the description below. But firstly, on to the reprints that we got in this set. And it promised a lot of alternative arts, which it kind of delivered on, but it didn't give us the ones we wanted. So we got like Red Eyes Black Dragon in its original artwork, not its other alternative artwork, which I don't think has come to TCG yet, which is absolutely beautiful. But we got the original artwork. I still like the original artwork, obviously, but it promised alternative artworks. He hasn't delivered in that sense. Gaia comes out, Launch a Spider, which is actually beautiful. Summon Skull, Pendulum Machine, Volsparita, Lajin, Celtic Guardian, Tigerax, Exodius for some reason, Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, Guildford in its only print in the TCG, the only print in the TCG with this artwork. Well, the only print in the TCG is being this artwork, and we got it again. We didn't get the other artwork. Panther Warrior got a reprint, Visor Des, Karibo, Darmaster Zork. This got reprinted just recently in December with the other Duel's pack. Relinquish, Black Illusion Ritual, Contract with Darmaster, Shrink, Scapegoat, Toon World, Spiral Spear Strike, which is a good reprint actually because it does support the set. Kunai with Chain, Acid Trap Hall, Crush Card Virus, which is nice in that artwork. Metal Morph, Ruin, and Ring of Destruction and Nightmare Wheel. 5 God Dragon, Black Skull Dragon, Dark Paladin, which is a decent reprint. XYZ Dragon Cannon, 1000 Dragon, and Flame Swordsman in another artwork, but we don't have it on the DevPro server, so I've had to put this one in. But what this set could have printed is really annoying that it hasn't, because it could have printed this artwork of Red Eyes, this artwork of Summon Skull, this artwork of Celtic Guardian. It could have reprinted Winged Rider Ra, which would support the set, since this set brings out the Phoenix form of Winged Rider Ra. It could have gave us the Errata form of Chaos Emperor Dragon and Void of the End, which some speculated that it was going to be reprinted in this pack, but it has not. This is the artwork we wanted for Guild for the Lightning, but we never got. DMG could have been reprinted. She's got several artworks. You could have had several copies of her in there. Karibo in this artwork, which is a bit weird. We could have got the Errata Sangan, for goodness sake, and even the 1000 Eye Restrict could have been reprinted in this set. If you unbanned it on the ban list, this would have hyped up this value of the set, because 1000 Eye Restrict is getting a lot of play in the OCG, at least in decks that are using Instant Fusion. Harpy's Feather Duster could have been printed in TC in this set, and it could have been come off the ban list as well, and that would have definitely hyped up the set because it is a very accessible Harpy's Feather Duster. And it could have brought out the imports of Summon Lord Exodia, Lord Gaia the Fierce Knight, which is a bit weird that they gave us some Gaia the Fierce Knight support, but not this version. Tides of the Brethren isn't printed in this set, which is very annoying because I really thought this was going to get printed in this set. And it's not, and Magic Space is going to actually die from this, and Exalt Flame could have been printed in this set. So there's three major cards that they really could have done to hype this value up. Currently I'm on the OCG list. This is not the new TCG ban list or something like that. But yeah, it's really annoying that they haven't. But let's go on to what they have done in the way of imports. So there is 6 pretty useless cards that you probably won't see play of, and there's 5 cards that will see play, well, except Holding Arms, but I'm struggling for a 5th card, essentially. So we've got Chasm of Spikes, which is going to be called Trap Hall of Spikes, I believe, and it's an alright card. When they attack, it destroys them, then it inflicts damage equal to half their original attack to your opponent, a bit like a Ring of Destruction in that sense. But it's pretty lackluster. Rebellion, which takes control of your opponent's monster, but it targets, so it's not good against Cosmo. Ring of Peace, which has a hell of a lot of restrictions, like 7-1, but you need to control no cards when you activate this card. Well, when you reveal it, and your opponent has to have 3 or more monsters, which is not actually likely to ever happen in the game. well, very often I should say. So Ring of Peace is really not going to be good. Gaia the Soaring Dragon Champion, or is it just, I think it's Sky Galloping Dragon Champion now, which adds Spiral Strike, and then it does, I believe, switches the attack. So it's not very good either. The same with the Infernal Curse of Dragon, which can destroy field spells and fusion summon itself without polarization. And then finally the Winged Dragon of Wrath Phoenix mode, which is pretty nice, but it's a god card. God cards never really seen meta play, so it's but at least we got one. But let's go on to the top 5 cards of the set. The first is Holding Arms. Holding Arms is like a Phoenix chain on legs, or should I say arms, which is alright. It stops itself from being destroyed as well, which is also good, but we've got a lot of non-targeting in the game right now, so it doesn't do much to what we want. True Name is going to be printed in this set, which is quite nice. You can see in some OTK decks, some weird decks with the Divine Beasts in them, which is going to be nice support for for more inconsistent builds and with stuff like Archfiend's Oath and like that. So True Name can see play in that, but it won't see any meta play. Holding Legs is the first card out of the set that will see possibility of meta play, as it's like a replacement for Denko Sekka itself. When it's summoned, return all set cards on the field to the hand, well, spell traps, which is nice. They would lure out a Solemn Strike at least, and you can banish from your graveyard tag one set spell trap your opponent controls. It cannot be activated until the end of your opponent's next turn, but they can activate in response to this effect, which is annoying, but I believe it does. Yes, it targets as cost, so it can react, but it forces out something like an MST or something of that caliber. So it's alright, but Denko Sekka still beats it. You will probably see it as a tech in some people's decks. The only reason it beats Denko Sekka in that sense is it can be special summoned, and Denko Sekka has to use your normal summon. The second best card in the set is Left Arm Offering. For any Infernoid player watching this, you need to pick this card up because it is very legit. If you have 2 or more cards in your hand other than this card, you can banish your entire hand, add 1 spell card from deck to your hand. You can't set spell traps for the rest of the turn, which is good, very good indeed, because we can recover our banishment through Cyclone Lord Omega or Burial from a different dimension, but we can add reasoning to our hand, which increases the consistency of the deck a lot more. If Inferno players are still topping in the TCG without this, just think of what they can do with it. This is assuming that we don't get reasoning to 1 in the next ban list. But anyway, this will allow us to still play Infernoid after that ban list, as Infernoid is still doing some minor things in the OCG at the moment, and this is mainly because of Left Arm Offering and Void Imagination. So it's hard, very good indeed, and something you want to pick up. This is a super rare in this set. I believe the holdings are super rare as well. True Name is super rare. This is ultra, 2 supers. I think this is a rare, that's an ultra for some reason, and I think that's a super. And then finally the best card of the set, Card of Demise. Now you'd never think this was coming to the TCG, to the game, but it did, in a really errated form, but it's still a brilliant card, particularly if the ban list is as harsh as the OCG, as this card is getting a lot of play in more degenerate decks like Cleavers, but they have skill drain at max, so but there's other decks that are using this, mainly with the artifact engine, so you can stop your opponent from doing stuff, but you get 3 cards to your hand, which you can just basically sell, and it's a perfect top deck. The effect of this card is that you draw until you have 3 cards in your hand, but your opponent takes no damage for the rest of the turn. During the end phase of this turn, you send your entire hand to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 per turn, and you cannot special summon this turn. Now, this is good for a deck like Yosenju, which mass normal summon, and that you can choose when to resolve Card Demise before your Yosenju's return to your hand. So the restriction of discarding your hand at the end isn't as dangerous. It can't work in something like Inferno because they're heavily special summon orientated, but a deck that's more or less normal summoning all the stuff or is stun-like will be able to utilize this card very effectively. So Cardomize, definitely something you should pick up some of on its release, because on its release it will probably be cheaper and then it will start to gradually increase in value, like Phantom Knight Breaksword, Cypher Lord Omega has, and probably Jurigato did have some hype at the time with Cosmo, but now it's not used as much. So yeah, these are the 3 best cards from the set. You really should pick up at least 3 copies of this, at least 3 copies of this, and probably a copy of this. This is going to be an ultra rare in the set, and the best ultra rare. This is the best super rare, obviously, and the reprints are really not good, except from like Dark Paladin. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys think on this Millennium Pack. Did they screw up very bad, or do you think this was actually quite legit? Do you think he'll be using the new card Demise? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, enjoy this, and we'll see further content. Madaran signing out.